Hey guys, Matt here with another video. So this video is probably not going to be one that very many people are going to like, but that's alright, it's my channel. I'm going to be talking about dump trailers and why people keep buying them. So I'm going to kind of go down a rabbit hole in this video. Keep in mind, this is my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter, and nobody else's opinion matters more than anybody else's. So it's just my opinion. I'm a mobile welder by trade. I am a trailer mechanic. We do a lot of heavy equipment too, but occasionally we'll do a lot of trailer repair. So that's kind of our bread and butter of our business, working on trailers, being mobile, stocking parts, making sure we got everything, kind of roadside service kind of thing. So I'm just going to dive into it. So and you've probably seen it on Facebook Marketplace in your area too. There's people buying these dump trailers up that would probably usually never own a dump trailer. I mean, dump trailers, these things are, I have one. I have one dump trailer right now, and I restored it, put new bearings in it and all that. I only spent $4,000 on buying the thing, but there's people buying these dump trailers for 8, 9, 10 grand simply to put them on Marketplace and expect their 1,500 pickup truck to do the work and think that it's gonna work out. And the simple answer is it's not. It's not, and I'm gonna tell you why. By the way, this is not a cigarette. It's a cyan cherry. I don't condone smoking or drinking at all on this channel, but figured it's a nice night out. I'm gonna have me a little cigar. So that's that. So let's dive into this. So you see it all the time on Facebook Marketplace. You're scrolling through looking for your next pile of junk to fix up and buy, and you see a dump trailer. Well, it says read description and the title, and they're renting it out. You see it all the time. Nothing wrong with that. Average Joe trying to make an extra buck. Nothing wrong with that. That is the American dream, and I fully support that. The problem is people that don't know how to manage money, don't know how to run a business, don't know how to market, don't know how to be a good salesman, are buying these things. Not a problem. Not a problem either. It's great to learn. Sometimes you just want to jump in, you know? But they're not willing to better themselves. They have very bad descriptions with spelling errors, terrible pictures, terrible marketing, and here's the kicker. They don't have their trailer insured. They don't have their truck insured as a business asset. And that could be a problem. And I'll tell you why. So, you're cruising along. Billy Bob Joe in front of you got a dump trailer, overloaded, full of cinder blocks that he did not put in there. He's taking it to the dump. Well, something happens with the trailer. Either the wheel falls off, and you can joke about saying that, but I've been on calls where the studs have been sheared off. I've also been on calls where the trailer hopped off a ball. Was the right ball size too, and it was locked, and stuff happens. Stuff happens. If you're not insured and you don't have that business insurance, you're not insured to be pulling that trailer. You know, things can get kind of sketchy. And there's a reason that people have insurance. There's a reason businesses have insurance. Well, say that trailer, you know, say your 16-year-old daughter or your 17-year-old son is driving behind them, and say it hurt something. Well, their negligence to not carry the proper insurance, not load the trailer correctly, and not understand that different materials weigh in at different weights, a different moisture content. Moisture content's huge. I mean, it is. It applies to everything, to a degree, even metal, to a smaller degree. But to mulch and gravel and dirt and sand, that's a huge difference. Water weighs a lot. I think it's like 7 or 8 pounds a gallon. I don't know. I'm not a plumber. I don't hang pipe. I weld. That's it. So I'm not going to claim to know it all. But in this situation, I'm very well versed with it. But this is just me. This is just my opinion. So you get this guy just trying to make an extra buck. Nothing wrong with that. He's got this $8,000 trailer, brand new. Doesn't know how to market. Doesn't know how to be a salesman. Doesn't have the proper insurance. Has a 1,500 truck. Trailer's loaded with 8 or 9 tons. Way overweight. You see the situation that this is creating. This is creating kind of a problem. And like I said before, I support capitalism just as much as the next guy. As a young businessman, entrepreneur, and salesman of my own company, I wear a lot of hats, and I do my best in every. I try to do my best in every single hat that I wear. I'm always improving. I'm always watching videos and talking to people that have a lot more experience in one specific thing than I do, than I could ever probably acquire. People that are a lot better at doing specific things than I am. And the thing is, when you work, say you work, I don't know, say you work at an automotive shop. Well, that's a bad example. Because those automotive shops, like if you work in an automotive shop, you probably know a little bit about weight limits and everything. Let's just say, I don't know, let's say he has an office job, or the job he has doesn't really matter. People can be negligent and ignorant no matter their occupation. Some occupations more than others, but that's, again, just me. So, my take on this is, what's going to happen with all these dump trailers when they can't find work because they're not spending enough on advertising? They post it on Facebook Marketplace, but that's not enough. If you want that trailer to pay for itself in a year or less, you need to get some business cards, you need to get your LLC, you need to get your insurance in line, you need to get a truck, at least a 2500 or F-250. Brand, whatever, don't matter. You need to have a heavier truck. A 2500 works great. F-250 works great. 1 ton, even better. Dually, even more better. Depends on the trailer. What kind of work you picking up? You picking up salvage work? Are you doing like cinder blocks? Are you doing demo? You working for excavation companies? Who are you hauling for? Roofers? Shingles are heavy. So you got to be selective in that market. You got to understand that different materials weigh different weights. I'm sure I've said that probably a million times, and you're probably sick of hearing it. But as a guy who sees the aftermath of these incidents, it's terrifying when you get negligent people behind the wheel of a now, we'll say 14 or anywhere between 10 and 14,000 pound vehicle, and that they may or may not maintain to the ways of the road like the commercial guys do, like how I maintain my trucks. But there's a lot more extra attention that needs to be played. And call me a nerd, but I do a pre-trip on my truck before I head out to a job site in the morning. Anytime the first day it gets started up, I walk around it with flashes on, make sure all my lights working, make sure the headlights working, check the oil before I start it, check the coolant, check my belts, check my tires, check the pressures, make sure there's no dangling equipment, because I have a service body. The guys that drive service bodies know you could always have a door slightly open, you could always have a cord hanging out or something draped over the bed. You just happens. So last thing I want is for something to fall off and hurt somebody. So I do my due diligence, driving a 11,000 pound vehicle as my daily truck. I do my due diligence and make sure that I am responsible for that truck. And that's kind of my take on it. So I guess to wrap this thing up is, before you buy a dump trailer, ask yourself this: are you willing to do what it takes to go out and make the money with that dump trailer? Or was this somebody in a bar that has no clue what they're talking about telling you that it's a good idea to buy a dump trailer and make some extra money? Again, not knocking it. I think I think people starting their own businesses is great. I really do. And I think we're going to see more of it as the whole great resignation comes along. Because a younger generation, like my generation, we don't want to work for bigger companies. We want to do our own thing on our own schedule. And I 100% support that. That's just the way the things are going nowadays. And we're going to see a lot of new companies popping up. I'm in support of that too. Even if they do the same thing I do, that's not a problem. That's a good thing. There needs to be more people in it. There's always needs to be more people in it. But my take on it is, if you're gonna buy a dump trailer, be careful who you're listening to. If you talk to a contractor about how to load a trailer, or go to the materials guy that sells the limestone or sells the mulch, go to them and ask them, hey, I just got this trailer. Hey, I'm thinking about getting this trailer. What's the max I should load it? And they'll ask a couple questions about it. Well, what's each axle rated? Is it tandem? How tall is the sides? What kind of hitch it has? And they should give you a general idea. But even better is the manufacturers of the trailer. They literally tell you the specs on their website. And you can dive in, go down the rabbit hole of finding the best spec trailer. It is what it is. It's what you want to do with it. It is what you make it. You got to know your market kind of beforehand. Not saying you can't just jump into it, but it helps having your eye on a target. Because if you just buy a dump trailer and you're not sure what direction you're going to go, you're going to end up going all over the place, and you might end up losing money by chasing this type of work, and you just don't know. My advice is, read the owner's manual. I know that sounds stupid, but it's going to tell you the intervals of greasing the bearings. It's going to tell you when to change the bearings based on how you load it. It's going to tell you the tire pressure. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. It's going to tell you about proper care. It's going to tell you everything. So before you go buy a dump trailer and put it on Facebook Marketplace to make a side income, talk to some people who already have dump trailers for their business and that are doing it legit, not cash under the table, able to accept credit card, have commercial clients where they get checks in the mail or they run them direct deposit, com check, or whatever. Talk to these people that are doing it legit, that have insurance, that you can trust. And it may take a minute for you to find somebody you can trust. But develop a network of people who you can ask. And what's even better is, when it comes down to DOT laws and stuff like that, with tire tread and mud flaps and weights and all that good stuff, the government themselves, the people that make the rules, know the rules best. So if you've got a buddy who's a DOT officer, there's another good networking person you could get to know. And as much as people knock on them, they're just doing their job. Yes, a couple of them probably power trip, but you get that with anybody. You get anybody would, in certain situations would do that. So that's just human. But away with the bad stuff. Most of these guys, they're trying to make sure all the roads are safe no matter what you're driving. They're trying to make sure everybody's playing the rules. And that's how you got to go about business. You got to play by the rules. We all play by the rules. So, rules are rules. But as far as that goes, that's my take on it. If you guys got any comments or suggestions or anything like that, or tell me what you think down in the comments. I know, like I said earlier, I think this video is probably going to get some backlash, but I don't care. I mean, this is my channel. I will say this. I want people to start their business. I want people to be in the dump trailer business. I've seen a lot of mistakes, and I'd love to help people out to avoid those costly mistakes. I mean, it's nothing for me to rehang a door when you dump a dump trailer and you forget to latch your doors open. When you forget that, that's gonna cost you about, in this area, it's gonna cost you $800 to get those doors rehung, and that's what I can charge in this area. Depends on the customer too, but you bid it by the job, not the hour, because that's how you make more money. Uh, but I want people to get into their endeavors, and if they happen to break something, I would love to be able to be the person to help them. I'm not out here hoping stuff breaks down. I'm not, praying that people break down on the side of the road. I don't want that. I really don't. I want what's best for the customer. I want what's best for the equipment. More importantly, I know that sounds bad, but you gotta be careful modifying equipment. This comes down to the manufacturer. You gotta have a good engineering mindset. You gotta be aware of why they put certain thicknesses of metal in certain places on these trailers, and it's not really just specific to these trailers. It's really that applies to about anything as far as modifications from factory designs go. But yeah, that's pretty much this video. Thanks for watching. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit, but that's that. See you on the next one.